Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming despite this weather. Although as a former skier, I used to be happy when I saw this. Now, not so much. Could we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Francis, why don't you start that off for us?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jenny?
I would like to just say a quick thank you to all our personnel, military personnel that are out there protecting us and taking care of us. Also to all of our first responders, our police, fire, and so forth. We have many people out there that are out there protecting us every single day. Please remember them in your prayers. Also, I would like to offer a very, very quick thank you to our Veterans Administration in Montrose and different areas that take care of our veterans and do a wonderful, wonderful job. Thank you. Just say a quick prayer to yourself, and we'll get on to our meeting. Thank you.
Jenny. Okay, our members, Francis McVetti,
yes.
Jenny Menton,
Rosemary Panio,
Serafina Mastro.
Joe Falcone, Parks and Rec.
Diana Quast, Town Clerk.
and who just left?
Darrell.
Darrell. Okay.
Unfortunately, Darrell had a previous
Oh, yes,
appointment
Darrell
that
had a-
could not be
Right, okay.
canceled.
Okay, we have today, our supervisor is away. He's in Europe, I believe, with his daughter, visiting his daughter. And we have our deputy supervisor, Sergio Esposito.
How are you?
Good to see you.
you.
Good to see you. Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Wonderful, thank you.
I was asked to come today. I just wanted to give a shout out to Rosemary for your award and
Oh, thank you.
great honor that has been bestowed upon you, and for your great service to our town and our community.
Thank you.
All right, so if you guys want to take some questions, what would you like to know? Let's start with that. Let's just dive right into it. Yes.
About a little update.
Okay. All right. So basically, the town, I believe, is doing well. We have a lot of things that have yet to come online that will be slowly coming online in 2025. We are looking at several projects in the community. We do have a really great refacing and of the Triangle Center. They're putting about $10 million in. It's my understanding, and it's still a big top secret thing, but something is going into the old TJ Maxx building, and so we have that going on. I'm sure you guys are well aware of what's going on at the Yorktown Green. We have several stores that have yet to open up. I believe the timeline, don't quote me on it, on Michael's is going to be late in 2025. I believe Five Below is going to be early 2025, and I believe the 12-court pickleball court place. I know that they signed a 30-year lease, so they're going to be here for a little bit, and they're going to be here to stay. And again, these are four really, really large, especially in today's age, properties that we're able to get rented. So I think we're doing well there as well.
And there'll be a pickleball court?
It's going to be 12 courts indoor, and it's pretty vast. The property, the building there, it's the last one in line. So you're going to have TJ Maxx. You have TJ Maxx. You're going to have Five Below, which is opening soon. You're going to have Michael's, which the rumor is that they're not coming, but I've confirmed that they are. And then you're going to have the 12-court pickleball court there.
Wow.
And it's going to have two party rooms, so you guys could, have a party there. It's actually going to be a nice addition to the town, and something that's going to be, recreational.
Do you know if anything is happening with the old restaurant in the Triangle Shopping Center? We had heard that something might be going on there in a smaller version.
So I have someone who I've been working on for about 4 years, and they want to come to Yorktown and they want to open up a really nice restaurant called Yorktown Brewery. They're not going to really be brewing beer here, but one of the partners has a brewery in another municipality, and that's going to be one of the partners. I had that place pretty much rented. If everybody understands, we're talking about the old Miragios, the old Centrale, the old Piatto Grill. So they were just about to sign the lease, and what ended up happening is it's my understanding that the person that originally ran Miragios, which was very successful, and I remember I had my daughter's communion there, and I believe her baptism as well, and so have so many. I believe that the original person that ran Miragios is coming back, and there is significant renovations going on there as we speak. So that'll be a nice addition to that area, and especially in terms of revitalization. And if you see, I know that a lot of people have complained with the Yorktown Green about the parking and the traffic, and I kind of say, you know what, I'd rather see all of that than the dirty outline of the Kmart logo that they took down. So I think we're moving in the right direction, and hopefully that revenue and tax revenue and stuff like that will translate positively to our bottom line in the town. But yes, so it's my understanding that that person is going to be reopening a similar restaurant to Miragios
Good to hear.
Wow, wonderful.
in the Triangle. And then you have the TJ Maxx building that supposedly is something significant is coming, but I'm not sure.
Excuse me?
Yes,
Sergio,
yes.
Can I ask you about the TJ Maxx building in that area? Is there going to be food somehow? I thought I saw signs looking in.
So there is a lease agreement. It's my understanding that there is a lease agreement with TJ Maxx, and this is a typical thing for big corporations where we can't really put in a restaurant that's larger than anything that was pre-existing. I honestly, I have a problem with that, but that translates into, I had somebody that wanted to take the Yorktown Grill and the Dollar Store, which is adjacent to Yorktown Grill, and make one big restaurant there. Unfortunately, that wasn't able to occur, and it's my understanding that there is going to be not a restaurant, it's going to be like a takeout kind of place that's going into the Yorktown Grill, into its existing space.
Okay.
So that's going to be the food aspect there. You also have a large existing food aspect there already in Uncle Giuseppe's. I mean, you could go there, you could dine there, and you could do all of that kind of stuff there. So that's the extent of the food that doesn't already exist. They're also going to be refacing the stores that flank the TJ Maxx, the now TJ Maxx property, right, the old Kmart building. So they're all getting a facelift as well, left and right.
Sounds great. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that was part of their original plan. I haven't heard anything that they're deviating from it, and it's in their best interest,
Yeah,
How
very
long do you
good.
think that will all take?
The refacing, I'm not sure. I could get a timeline for you. That's easy. I do know that the timeline that I set forth was confirmed. You are dealing with construction, and it's outside, and there's elements and all of this stuff that may or may not contribute, positively or negatively to the construction. But I think by the time you get the pickleball courts, which is the final part of it, before they go with the refacing, it's probably going to be about a year at least.
And that will, having been in retail for 40 years, that will bring customers to the other stores like Uncle Giuseppe, et cetera.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I would have really liked to have seen, a restaurant there. I think that was kind of to your question. It would have been nice, but it's okay because I believe that traffic is going to translate into people using restaurants that are local to it. For example, we have Our Place, which is Lonnie, I got you. Thank you. Which is a really great restaurant. It's a little different than your average Italian restaurant or anything like that. Not that I have anything against that, and they are doing well. You have the Gramercy. I know Oscars, I believe, recently re-signed their lease, so they're not going anywhere. That kind of stuff. Lonnie?
What I would suggest, I wasn't aware of that aspect of the lease that would only allow the one particular footprint in terms of food establishment. But I would ask you or them, they may want to re-examine that because if you recall, Bloom's Deli was in that area as well. So that had a food component to it, obviously. So if it's a question of square footage and food, I think they may have a workaround that.
And honestly, like I said, I have a significant partnership. There's two people that are significant restaurateurs that do want to bring something to Yorktown. I've been I'm almost like the real estate agent of Yorktown, but I don't collect any fees. And I am still searching for a place for them. I envisioned Turco's being one of the places. I also showed them another place across town, Mohegan Lake, where they might be interested. They're looking to rent about 10,000 square feet. The old Yorktown Grill is about 3,000.
All I'm saying is
Yeah.
you may not be constrained there as you think you are.
I don't believe I am, and if I could, like I said, I'm still working on it, and we'll see. I believe that that property, the Yorktown Grill, has been rented, and it will be announced at some point. Waiting on the property owner, to let us know. They are still having some issues with, I believe, NYSEG getting the equipment necessary for the electrical, put the meters in, separate the meters out. So they're still dealing with that, but that's not inhibiting, them moving forward in any way, as evidenced by TJ Maxx opening up. Yes.
Is it possible to alleviate some of the parking at the Yorktown Marine by parking in the back and having entrances to the stores in the back of the building? Because there's a huge space back there.
That's true.
So there are some entrances to the back of the building already, but typically those are like backdoor entrances. I remember the Yorktown Grill had a backdoor entrance where, if you wanted to go there, you'd park in the back and walk in. Other stores, I don't believe, and I'm not sure, are set up that way. Usually the back part where the entrances are, that's their storage rooms or something like that. But yeah, and most people I'm sorry?
There are stores that have to have deliveries and stuff, I understand that.
Yeah, and you're allowed to park back there. A lot of people have asked me, they're like, hey, can we park in the back? Absolutely. That parking is counted as part of the what you have to do when you have to have a certain amount of parking spots. I also checked with the planning board and asked them if we could narrow the parking spots a little. It's a really big parking lot. And so if you kind of took a foot, let's say, I'm just making up numbers, if you took a foot from each parking spot and it would still be wide enough, except it wouldn't conform. So we wouldn't be able to do that, and that would increase the amount of spaces. But we aren't able to do that there because the spaces are the sizes that our code allows them to be, and you can't go any smaller than that. But you can park around the back. There's also a lot of parking on the side where the wine place is that nobody really utilizes. It's like anything else. Everybody wants to park right next to it. You don't want to walk in the cold. You don't want to, so. But there are a lot of spots, usually in the back left corner, that are, let's say, they're underutilized. But yes, I understand that there are a lot of people frequenting these places, and I fully anticipate that the excitement will diminish over time a little bit. Hopefully not too much, But it was just like the problem we had at Popeyes when they opened Popeyes at on 202. It was crazy. The parking was not the traffic was nuts. They had to hire extra people just to guide traffic, and now not so much, right? So
I have found, I've been down there a few times, but I have found people go in and out so quickly that if you go around once or twice, by the time you get around again, there is another parking space. So I think the key is to be very patient, drive slowly, and a parking space will empty out and you'll be able to park. And you do get your walking steps in sometimes.
yeah, you get your walk.
So,
I probably shouldn't say this, but I'd rather have the difficulty in parking than what we had prior to this happening. I really, in my heart, that's how I feel about it. And when I go there, I'll park in the back and I'll leave the spots that are available. And there is a significant amount of handicap parking right in front. I think most of the spots are utilized for handicap. Is that?
Thanks for that, because a lot of towns don't have handicap.
Well, we tried. We even did the handicap parking here, and there's just that there are so many issues that we try to deal with, and we try to get to them all. But we also did the handicap parking here, the veterans parking, which very respectful to our veterans. And I always thank them for their service, and not just on Veterans Day. And I've even written an article about that says don't wait to Veterans Day to thank people. So.
right.
But like I said, in lieu of what was the Yorktown Green to what it is now, I'll take it.
Well, parking in the back is, that's a good thing to know, but when you have a cart full of groceries and you have to walk a long distance, it's problematic. I don't even think most people are aware of the fact that they can park in the back anyway.
No, I know, and I got to tell you, one of the biggest questions I got is, "Hey, can we park in the back?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. That's counted as part of the parking for the entire parking area, and you can also park on the other side in the back behind Suburban Liquor and Suburban Wine. You could, but that would be a further walk. But if you're frequenting like Taco Bell or the pizzeria or Das Auto, you would park on that side, and in front of them, that's where it's I think grossly underutilized. But I don't blame people for wanting to park close. I try to do that all the time too. So
Sergio?
go ahead.
Yeah.
New construction or land clearing next to the post office.
Yes.
Can you share what that is?
Yes, absolutely. So, I'm sorry. So she's asking what's going on with the clearing of the land adjacent to the post office. If you're facing the post office, it would be to the right. We did do a groundbreaking there. I have a post about it. I haven't just gotten around to putting it up, but that is going to be Atlantic Compliance, and it's my understanding that what they're doing is they're moving their business from where they are now, which is right across the street in the back there, to this new facility that they're opening up, and I believe it's going to be a 2-story building. And the second floor is going to be storage. I believe it's going to be like public storage. Like you rent a cubicle and you store stuff there. I would rather have seen apartments, but it's up to the business owner.
And the space that Atlantic leaves, is that going to be rented? Any idea?
We don't know anything of what would be going in there yet. What I'm hoping is that people will, once they revitalize and reface, because the property owner is actually putting $10 million into refacing the whole area. I believe so. I think they're doing the whole thing. I would have to check.
Because it looks like the back,
Right.
storage area.
And I will tell you that if you have that restaurant where Miraggio's used to be, usually people would park in the back there and come up the stairs. It was more readily accessible if you could climb stairs, right?
Nice Asian restaurant there, but you don't know that it's nice until you get inside.
Right. Right. No, I know. I get it, and I got to tell you, we get a lot of people commenting on, how do we fill old spaces? And I will tell you, retailers, people that want to open up new businesses, they want to go into these new, fresh spaces, and it's really not on us as a town board or anybody to dictate where somebody wants to live or open up their business. I wish I could. I wish I could say, no. You're not going here. You're going here because this is where we need you. You just can't do that. And so what they are looking for is, these fresh, newly renovated spaces, evidenced by TJ Maxx, right? Yeah. So they're refacing that whole thing, and look at that. We finally got the Uncle Giuseppe's property rented, and it got renovated. They put a lot of money into it. I'm proud to say that I believe to date the Uncle Giuseppe's here is their largest store in the fleet. So it's good, and that spurred on all of this other stuff that's happening there, and you're seeing that's my phone ringing. Sorry, yeah. They probably know I'm up here, and they're like, let me bother them, right? So that's the story with that, and so the refacing and the updating and the modernizing. I mean, if you look at the triangle, that's very 80s-ish. And so I'm hoping that that will spur on more people coming in.
What's going in the old Giuseppe's?
So the old Giuseppe's is I'm going back to what I had said previously, that restaurant that I want to come in. I think that would be an ideal place for them. The problem is that the old Giuseppe's, the old Turcos. It is 33,000 square feet. Like I said, I'm the real estate guy here, right? So it's 33,000 square feet. And we do have 2 people that want at least 10,000 each, which in today's day and age, this isn't Midtown Manhattan. For a business owner to come in and request 10,000 square feet as a, to rent, it's significant, I think. And so there were some rumors. I have spoken to the real estate agent, the property manager, and all of those people from that building. I haven't really gotten very far, and to be quite honest, I'm a little annoyed by it. But I do have at least 2 places that could potentially rent from them, and they both want about 10,000 square feet each. So my proposition to them is I can get you. 2/3 of your, give or take, 1,000 square feet or so, 2/3 of your property of that building rented now. And I did speak to several people who know the owner, and I spoke to the property manager, but they all answer to the owner. And so I'm trying to get a meeting with the owner. And if you notice that one of the town board meetings, I actually did say I complained about this. I complained very loudly about it because I don't appreciate it, and I'll tell any property owner, any business owner, I'm sorry, that if they want to come to Yorktown and they want to contribute positively to our community, I'm going to be their biggest fan. I'm going to help as much as I can. If they don't want to be here, they could get the hell out, And so I am trying to get a hold of them. I also spoke about possibly passing. Sponsoring some type of legislation that will give the town some teeth to compel people to at least come to the table. I mean, I just want you to listen, and I can get it rented. And if your gripe is that nobody wants to rent my place, well, I got 2 people right now, right? So so that's where I'm at with that. I am still trying to pursue the diplomatic route, and I did come across someone that that knows the owner specifically, and we're in the process of me having a sit down with Ed, our supervisor Lachman, with them to see if we could get the ball moving. We could get that property rented as well. Yes.
The end of Mohansick Avenue, there's a big clearing. What's going on there?
The end of Mohansick. What?
Guiding Eyes for the Blind.
So all right. So Guiding Eyes for the Blind, a tremendous community partner. They do a lot for our community. and they actually perform a significant service for our fellow people that aren't as lucky as us and have trouble seeing. So what they're doing is they are moving in over there. The project has already been approved. And what they're doing is they're going to be putting up a office building, an office space, and kennels. What we did at the planning board level, as I'm the liaison there, we ensured that the kennels are going to be soundproofed to the modern standards, so this way not to disrupt the neighbors. There was also a problem because Signs Inc. Was actually, the lines get blurred sometimes over, 100 years. And Signs Inc. was actually on their property a little bit. And what I said to them, to Guiding Eyes, I said, this is a really great business in Yorktown. They're really great people at Signs Inc. What can we do about this? And so they redrew their lines, and they're not disrupting another business. Because the problem is that, and I get your points, you got one business moving from here to here and one relocating here to here. And although, that's what people see, we do have a lot of new businesses coming into town as well. But it would be nice if we didn't have this jumping like Turcos to Triangle. If we could have them both filled, that would be ideal, right? And so we're working on that, diligently. I will tell you, I am. I know Ed is as well.
I'd like to mention that intersection. I use that intersection at least 3 times a day. Going from Yorktown, making the left turn onto Mohansick is very dangerous because cars are making a turn off 202 and they're going into the gas station and they're not signaling and they're slowing down and stopping for somebody coming out of the gas station. It is a dangerous intersection. I'm surprised there's not more accidents there. But in any case, somehow the town and the state have to address that intersection. I know they expanded the intersection and they did a nice job with that, but now we're going to have more traffic and I see some problems there.
So interestingly enough, that intersection where the overpass is for the Taconic, we actually, years ago, I wasn't involved, but years ago, the folks, Tony Grasso, made it a point to get that overpass widened for future development. Otherwise, it'd really be a mess, right? Yeah, and so what we could do is we could possibly contact. I'll be happy to do that. When I say we could contact the Yorktown Police and maybe get a little more enforcement there.
Well, there, and there's also a handicap ability to stop and push a button and get the lights to change for somebody who wanted to walk across there or take a wheelchair across.
I think that's there already.
I'm saying that's there already, but that may need to be changed a little bit because of the traffic. I see people in buses stopping there to go to work there because not everybody has a car.
Right.
And that's an issue too. So just so you know.
Yeah. No. Well. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Dave Paganelli. Dave is just wonderful. You tell him something. You don't have to tell him once.
No.
You tell him a half a time, and that's it. And he gets right on it. So I will let him know, and maybe there might be some additional stuff that we could do.
That's all state DOT.
I know, but we might be able to get some law enforcement there.
That's where you start. I love Dave too, but you have to start with the state DOT.
I'm gonna defer to Dave, and I think Dave will be able to contact the state DOT, and if he needs our assistance, we'll be there to help as well, of course. But it is a traffic issue. It is something with roads, and I like to be ultra respectful to people, and so I will defer to Dave first, and I'll have a conversation with him. I had an issue in front of the old Solaris, and we discussed it, and we came up with a compromise. Not exactly what I wanted, not exactly what he wanted, but we were able to help those businesses around that area as well with parking. Yes.
Back during COVID, you were with the chamber.
Yes.
And you did a great job of letting all the seniors know the senior discounts around the town.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I want to know if you know of any other senior discounts around the town currently. And two, I believe the chamber
Yes. So if you want, I'd be happy to partner with you, and I'd be happy to go to the small businesses and get them to sign up and get a fresh list of senior discounts.
Yes.
And then we could publish that.
And
I-
also the new businesses that want to come in, especially food, that would perhaps be a question we should ask them, whether they give out senior discounts.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. And if a business doesn't, they don't have to. But I think if we ask them, can you do a senior discount, and we put you on a list, and you'll get some publicity from it. I don't see why they wouldn't give you like a 10% or 15% or something like that. I think that's what we're talking about.
10% is usually what most stores give.
That's what most stores give, and 10% is 10%, right? Especially if you're on a fixed budget.
Or Wednesday, right?
Well, it depends. It depends on the business. But I'd be happy to go around, and ask people, and then we could come up with a fresh list, because that's from a few years ago. Yeah, and so as far as the merger goes, I've been very upfront and honest. I'm not happy about it. I have also been very upfront and honest.
What kind of merger is it? They can't hear you. I said the question, but they can't hear you.
I'm sorry. The question was, I'll repeat the question. So the question was, what is going on with the Yorktown Chamber of Commerce merger? They are merging with the Hudson Valley Gateway Chamber, a great chamber. I was a member of it for many years. I have been upfront and honest on 2 points. Number one, I'm not happy about it. Number two, I will support them with everything I have. So although I'm not happy about it, I am going to support the merger. I think it's got a lot of positives, for the chamber itself. I know that as president of the chamber, I was president, I was vice president, I was secretary, I was a member, for years. Getting people to help is next to impossible. And I don't think that's a problem with the chamber, with the Yorktown Chamber specifically. I think that's just volunteer groups and volunteer organizations. It's just a cold hard fact. And so I think they'll have a lot more resources at their disposal. I know several people spoke about possibly starting a new chamber that's more hyper-local to just Yorktown. I don't know if that's going to gain any footage. I would support that as well. So, but I think Karen Trundell did a tremendous job with the chamber. I was just at their holiday party. It was packed, and it was a lot of good times, everybody smiling and everybody succeeding. So she did a really good job.
Will they publish the benefits? If we knew the benefits, it would be helpful.
From the chamber?
Yeah. Of joining Hudson Valley Gateway.
Yeah, and I don't know for sure, but I will tell you that I bet my life that the Hudson Valley Gateway Chamber, if you go to their website, the benefits are right there. One sec, yeah. So I believe, and the chamber always had the benefits of all the sponsorships and joining the chamber. I'll bet it's on their website right now. Jen, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I will confirm that it is on the website right now. I happen to be a board member of the Hudson Valley Gateway and member of the Yorktown Chamber. And the discounts also, going back to Jim's question about the senior discounts and so forth, you can go on and there's a directory, there's a digital directory. You can see any discount, that's available to members and non-members alike. So the benefits and the membership tiers are all on there.
On the Hudson Valley, you're speaking about the Hudson Valley.
Valley Gateway Chamber
Right.
website.
Unfortunately, and I hate to interrupt you, because I'm well into the senior years, not everybody goes on a computer, not everybody can get that information there, and that's why before when we tried to do a flyer that we were able to print out to hand to people, because not all of our seniors have access to a computer unless they have a grandson or somebody that will help them. So
Part of the advantage of the merger is the Hudson Valley Gateway does have paid staff, and that goes to your
Yeah.
point about resources. So you could certainly call the chamber offices
Right.
to get that information, and we have staff available who can
right,
help you.
right.
So a suggestion you might want to make is when I was president of the chamber here in Yorktown, what we did is we published our directory once a year.
Yeah.
And in the directory, there was a page dedicated to the seniors. We also even had medical stuff and And I think that was both of you guys were
you forgot.
harassing me about that, I think.
You forgot us this year. We didn't have a page in your directory.
I didn't forget. I am not with the chamber. But
I know. I was very involved in it also. because
yeah,
of
no,
my-
I know. And it was your idea,
But,
so I believe
I
it.
know it was my. Yeah, right.
Yeah, we put it in there, and then they have their book,
Right.
book in their hand and that kind
I
of
mean,
stuff.
I think Mr. Motorano also had published it for us in different information that he put out in the senior calendar that you put out. We tried every area aside from the computer because a lot of them, in fact, we did have a computer program, getting off the subject, at the nutrition center at one time where we had a volunteer teach them how to use a computer, and that's null and void right now because they were so outdated and everything. And it was Vishnu Patel that, if I remember correctly, that donated all the computers there. And we also had a gentleman that came to help the seniors learn how to use the computers. And that was really beautiful. Now, I know I have talked to Jim about it. Maybe we could get a grant or something. I would love to see that program come back because our seniors love it when they can reach their grandson or their son in Europe someplace with an email. They never knew that before. But things have changed now. I know that. But I had talked to Jim about that, trying to find a grant that maybe we could bring that back. Because it's an additional expense. It has to be taken care of, and I know how everything works. So we're trying.
Yeah, no, and I'm actually in the process of donating some computers to the teen center. Their computers need to be updated. I've done some work for them
Right.
pro bono. Come on, so they do such great work there. And but yeah, I mean, where were these computers located for the seniors?
In the nutrition center.
You said that, yeah.
We had one, I forget which room it was. In fact, we lent it to whoever it was that came in to do the taxes, during tax season. And we also had a free program for the seniors to come there to get help with their taxes.
So how many computers were there?
6 was it? Yeah. And then, but we had difficulty with it. We needed paper. We needed different things. We went out to the community and different people donated the paper and the ink and stuff like that. It was really.
Well, I'd be happy to help. I mean, what.
I just thought it was a fabulous thing for the seniors because not all seniors have a cell phone. Not all seniors have a computer. And I'll never forget when they first started that someone was able to reach their son in Europe somewhere, and they were so excited about it. They sent out a note, and all of a sudden got a note back. And I don't want to take up the time because I see the weather is getting bad out there.
Yeah. No, and
it
I
is
got
a
to tell you,
fabulous program. If we could bring it back, it would be great.
what's been lost in translation since I started, doing this kind of stuff is I'm actually an IT guy. That's my bread and butter. That's where that's what affords me the ability to do so much volunteer work. And so I'd be happy to help.
Thank you.
Be happy to help. Any other questions? The weather is getting bad. My phone's ringing again. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right. It's great to see all of you. Happy holidays. All right.
You
Thank
can
you.
always reach
Sergio.
reach Sergio by phone or email. He is great in responding to whoever sends a note to him. So if you didn't get your answer today, just email him or text him.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergio.
Okay, I'm going to hand it over now to Diana Quast, our town clerk. And, okay,
Wait, I thought I saw her come in. No, I guess not.
there she is.
Yeah, there she is. She came in before I saw her.
Yeah, I know. Couldn't have been that text I just sent. So we have a very brief presentation, and then I'm going to introduce you to two people that are here today to discuss fraud and IT identification theft, correct? Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Maura. So I'm Diana Quast, your 10 town clerk. I hold designations as a master municipal clerk, a certified municipal clerk, and a registered municipal clerk. Some of our responsibilities, I'm the records access officer and registrar of vital statistics. I take care of our offsite archival and record center and our town museum. I take care of town board meeting agendas, minutes. My office issues handicap parking permit, dogs licensing, and many other types of permits. We handle all the vital records of the town, birth, marriage, and death certificates. We issue marriage licenses. I perform marriage ceremonies. We do genealogical searches. We take care of the pending projects and the pending legislation before the town board, and we have many other responsibilities that are governed under state law that we have to take care of. Some of our accomplishments, we started a Mobile Town Clerk's Office initiative, expanding vital services to our seniors, veterans, and residents with disabilities. We developed and launched a comprehensive senior safety ID program. We digitized over 2 million municipal records through our Laserfiche program. We modernized public access to government documents by establishing a digital e-code system to retrieve town board minutes, agendas, resolutions, and local laws. And before I finish up, I want to wish everyone a very happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas to everyone. I want to thank my staff, Maura, my deputy, she's my right hand. Also our assistant curator, Amy Swan, who takes care of our museum, and Anna, Michelle, and Elena, who serves in my office, helping us also. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Gary and Joanna, and they're going to talk about some issues that are very important to seniors right now, especially with the scams that are taking place. So Gary has been in the banking and financial services industry for close to 30 years. He has a degree in economics from the State University of New York at Albany with an MBA in financial management at the Pace University Lubin School. I'm going to let him talk about the rest of what he does. And then Joanna is a CPA. She's a local resident in town, and she's self-employed, and she works with doing tax services and specializing in providing personal and small business tax preparation, business support, and planning. So I think that you'll find them very experienced and well-versed in what they do, and I think that you certainly ask them questions. That's what they're here to answer, okay? Gary and Joanna.
Hi, everybody. I know that snow is coming down and everybody's watching it because we all have to get home, but I think I'm going to let Gary start and talk to you about what he does to help protect you all against identity theft. And what I wanted to just follow up with after that is just maybe answer some questions and tell you a little bit about personal experiences with different ways people will try and get your information. Okay? So I'll give it to Gary.
Thank you so much. Hey everybody, thank you for giving us the time here today. I think I'm working in the banking industry for close to 30 years, and it's evolved. So I thought this was a very important topic, so I want to say thank you for giving us the time here today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Diana for actually asking us to be here as well. What's the biggest concern to me today is that, and you alluded to it earlier, not everybody's got a cell phone, not everybody's going to be getting an email today that suggests that something is going on in their life. Identity theft happens quite often without people even realizing it's happening. In fact, I think the stat is that it happens like every 2 seconds, and you're more likely to get your identity taken from you than you are your car. And it's for good reason. People have access to information, whether or not you're giving it to them or not. We've had the government had their information stolen, their databases stolen, hospitals. And with that comes your social security number, comes your information on your tax returns, what have you. And they're piecing things together. So it's important to understand that a lot of different types of frauds happening out there today. Before you leave, make sure you have one of these. We're not going to go into great detail about this. In the world today, I'm paranoid. I have my mother sitting at home all day, and she will call me and say, I have a text message about a package that we're getting. I have a phone call about something that we didn't receive or something's not finalized. I'm like, hold on, wait till I get home. You don't need to answer any of those people directly. A lot of times, the differences between these are phishing techniques. There's somebody that just wants you to answer the phone. They're going to want to put one or two pieces together before it's a complete coverage of creating a second you. So just be very careful. You can jump to the next screen. Within this also is kind of an identification for every little bit of piece of things that can happen to you. And there's also phone numbers on here. This has not come from KeyBank. I do represent KeyBank. I've been in several different banks in my lifetime, been in the industry for 30 years. This is actually coming from the American Bankers Association. Yes?
I'm sorry, quick question. Is that a handout?
Yes. I'll definitely have them for you. Yeah, they were separate. You know what? I don't like everybody resorting to just this as one piece of information to focus on because there's so many good things in here. This usually can take up to about an hour in some cases. This whole presentation, we're going to kind of touch on the basics.
But this, when you walk away, I wanted to make sure you have it, just because it has some good reference phone numbers for you as well. Okay, no, absolutely. So true or false, there's a victim of every 2 seconds. We just touched on that. That is actually the more common of the two. And you're more likely to have your identity stolen than you have your car stolen or home burglarized. They're both true. So I think it's something that I think a lot of people don't think is going to happen to themselves until it does. So this is the whole purpose of this class today, just to kind of discuss the next steps. So go ahead, Diana. Okay. So what is the difference between identity theft and identity fraud? Identity fraud occurs when someone's personal information is used to access money. Right? So somebody has your debit card, somebody gets a hold of your credit card, or actually something even worse, online. The second thing is identity theft is when somebody uses their personal information for financial gain. That comes in several different types. I don't think what people realize is that just because you're not actively online or actively applying for things regularly, that information can be compiled. I did a class on credit scores, and people didn't understand that pulling your credit report is important, because if you have an address from 30 years ago still in that credit report, that could be used as an identifying question somewhere else. It could be used as an address with your name that might actually flow to an approved status just because it's still listed as an address on your records. So going and pulling your credit reports and making sure that they're accurate and you delete addresses that aren't true or from a long time ago is important. Going to your bank and saying, I just want to make sure that everything is up to date. And when somebody says, yeah, we have your email address as joesmith@da-da-da.com, I don't have an email address. Why would I have an email address there? People can still, just because you didn't create an online profile with your bank doesn't mean that somebody can't do that in an attempt to get your information or log on under your name. So the scary part of the world is you want to make sure you go into your bank and say, I did not authorize online access. I don't want to authorize online access. What phone number do you have for me? Because if something does happen with my stuff, who are you going to call? You know, you shouldn't be calling some fake number that was just listed there. Maybe the person that opened up the account just put down 914-777-5555 when they opened up your account. Who knows? Things 30 years ago aren't like they were today. So if you haven't been there recently, go in and ask them. Okay? The proper technique is if something does happen and it is reported, we're either going to text you or email you. That's the first thing we do. And if you don't have access to either of those two things, then what? Then what? And I think the common response I get from a lot of people that I do work with, because every single day somebody comes in the bank, is, I don't know what to do next. Something just happened, and I don't know what happened. There was a withdrawal from my account for $9,000 that was not me. All right. Luckily, there are fail-safes, the things the banks do to try to protect you. But it's unfortunate that this does happen every single day. So making sure all of your account information is up to date is huge. The next thing we will do is try to call you. Now, you get a call on your phone from some strange number you've never seen before. What is your likely next step going to be? Not an answer.
Don't answer.
That's the first thing I tell you. Don't answer your phone. I'm from Key. Hey, this is Gary from Key Bank. It looks like there's some strange stuff going on your account today. Can I get some information from you? No. Sorry, Gary. I'll go to my local bank and I'll ask them what's going on with my account. That's your response.
So you're saying don't answer your phone?
Don't answer it.
No.
So I'm just going to interject here, because one of the things I wanted to
Microphone.
One of the things I wanted to speak to everybody about was it really doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, or what you do. I'm just going to share a quick story, but 3 o'clock in the morning, 10 years ago, at the ripe old age of 45, I received a phone call from Chase Bank, and they were trying to stop fraud from happening, and to do so, they needed my driver's license number. Well, I had 3 boys that were teenagers at the time, and just making sure everybody's safe, and you go into panic mode. I'm a CPA, I should know better. Half asleep, I gave them my driver's license number. I hung up, and I knew the second I hung up, that
was a mistake.
So I had to go into fail-safe mode, and I had to freeze my credit, and I had to make sure that and I did. I got it in time. I protected myself. But there will be people, they will not just try to contact you on the phone. They will not just try to contact you by email, or they will try and get you when your guard is down, right? And we all have those moments. And it doesn't matter, again, age isn't an issue, or what you do for a living. So I just wanted to make sure that one of two things I want you to take away from me today is that everybody has a gatekeeper in their life, right? Who I call a gatekeeper. I'm a gatekeeper for some of my clients. I have clients well into their 80s that will get texts or emails, and they just send it to me and say, what is this? Did I win 10 grand? Am I, do I? And so I would suggest that it's your spouse, your daughter, your son, your grandson. Have a group around you or a group of friends. If you're not sure about something, ask. Let them help you figure that out. Somebody that you trust. You get an email that says, come to the post office and claim this. And when you have a gatekeeper, it helps you kind of just double your reinforcement right from the get-go. That's the first thing that I wanted to make sure that everybody just takes away from them today, okay? The second is to make sure you're on top of all of your vital information. And as a tax accountant, I like to do that with my clients every year at tax time, right? We make sure that everybody knows where they need to be and the updates that need to be made. I think it's a good thing for all of you guys to set a schedule for yourself. It's the end of the year, the week between Christmas and New Year's, really kind of the world kind of slows down. It's a good time to look at who your contacts are. And like Gary said, just kind of go through your financial situation, make sure that you have all your numbers updated, make sure that your information is correct, and the people that need to know anything about you, your daughter, your son, your grandson, your spouse, that all of those people know where all of your documentation is. The only thing I will say, guys, is I got caught in that moment. I want to make sure there's one other scam that's been happening, and it's been happening to, I have 3 clients that unfortunately were talked to me after the fact, but there will be charities that call you, okay? One is the New York State Sheriff's Department. Okay, we all got that, everybody gets that phone call, right? And they'll say, Rosemary, Jenny, we see you're a member of Yorktown for for 45 years, and don't you want to support your police department? And don't you, and they prey on our, well, of course I know, you kind of, they make you feel guilty, and we're just asking for a $25 donation. You can just give us your credit card number. And again, if someone's at an unguarded moment and they're just like, okay, whatever, just 25, don't make it more. Oh, no problem. But guess what? You just give your credit card number away to somebody who's not who they say they are, and they're going to charge Christmas on your credit card, right? So I guess I have 3 things for you to take away today. My third is, regardless of who calls you and asks you for money, for donations, for charity, you can say, I'd love to. Can you send me something in the mail?
Right.
That's it. That's good. That's perfect. That's all you need to do. And you don't have to feel guilty, and you don't have to feel bullied, and you don't have to feel pushed into anything. And when you just make it your practice, I'd love to look at what you have. Please send it to me in the mail. And just, be very, very wary, no matter how good the story is, guys, or how many first names they use, or, how long they know your address, or they know I'm sorry, I don't give that information out on the phone. I'm happy to look at something in the mail. But that's it for me. All right, I'm going to let Gary finish off. And if there's anybody who has questions, and I know you mentioned taxes, so I am a member of the Yorktown Chamber, and last year we did have a program for seniors to come in, and nobody took advantage of it.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
I don't think they knew about it.
I am more than happy. I've got a big mouth. I'm more than happy. If anyone needs help with their taxes, or if you know of anybody that just has questions, you can contact Diana. She'll put you in touch with me, and I'm happy to talk to you about taxes and tax law and what's changing and why are we paying so much. And that's it. So get home safe, everybody.
I had announced it here one night, but I don't think anybody realized what it was all about.
Well,
we were no longer doing it at the nutrition
Yeah, well,
center.
now I'll come to you, and I can set up wherever Diana has space for me, and I'm happy to donate my time and answer any questions that you guys might have about taxes. Right. It's a complicated landscape for everyone. So that's it, and thanks so much, and get home safe.
Will the chamber have something like that again?
Yes.
And they would let us know, of course.
Yes, but I'm also able to do it through the town.
Okay.
If you like, we can set up probably a time right here in the boardroom where people can come in and meet with Joanne and go over those.
Yes. Diane, am I correct that they're not doing it at the cultural center anymore?
I'm not sure about that.
All right, I'll have to double check on that. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody. There's a full program here. We're not going to go through the entire thing. I do have my business card in there. There's two things that I'll leave you with. Number one, don't answer the phone. All right, there's no reason to. All right, nobody wants to give you anything for free. They're going to get something from you, and they're going to use it against you. And I don't know if anybody's ever went to some place to get a free hotel stay for a timeshare presentation. I'm a very nice person. I want to listen, and I think I'm just going to be able to walk away from it. And sometimes you feel like I'm going to get suckered into this because everybody is so nice here and I have such a great time. It's the same nonsense on a phone call. I'm here to help you. I just need one piece of information. I want to make sure that this is cleared. Now, I will go to my bank and take care of it there. And if they don't want to take care of you there directly, then complain to a higher level because that's what we're here for. We deal with it every single day, and it's one of, I think, the best responsibilities we have as being a bank is to make sure we're safeguarding information. All right, so that's the first thing. Number two, there are things you can do. You can pay for services to monitor your credit, to monitor what's going on in your life. You don't really have to go that far if you don't want to. One thing you can do is block your credit. You can actually go to credit bureau agencies and say, I want everything frozen. I don't want anybody applying anything in my name. But Gary, what if I want to apply for a credit card or loan? You call them and say, I'm doing that.
What did you say they are? Who are they? Who are they?
Your credit bureau agencies, your credit protection agencies. So Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, those three companies, what you can do is you can actually go to them and say, I want to freeze my credit. Don't pay for anything. If there's a question about that, come into the bank. Once again, you have my card. It doesn't matter if you bank with Key Bank. I will take all my calls. You
Where
can
is
say,
where is your card?
it's within the folder.
Oh, I see.
You can just say, hey, Gary, we were at the meeting that one day. I would love for you to call me and just give me a call back and answer a quick question for me. Lastly, and this is not a statement, this is not a thing to do, this is just a statement. Do not feel embarrassed. How many people come in every single day saying, my son and daughter's yelling at me because I was so embarrassed to let them know that this happened to me? That's not embarrassing. That's horrible. You feel like your whole life was corrupted. Don't be put in that position. It happens to everybody in this world today, unfortunately. Not everybody, but a lot of people. So don't feel embarrassed when something like that comes your way. You got caught in a moment. That's why I say the first step is don't answer the phone.
Can I just add one little thing to that with the phone situation? Lots of times the number comes up on your TV if you're watching it, but if you don't recognize the number, just don't answer it. But the thing is, if it's for you, they will leave a message, and then you could call them back. I don't answer my home line at all because I get a lot of crazy calls. But if even if I recognize the number, I wait to see if they leave a message. Usually you hear a click, so you know it's not. But if it's anybody that you know, they'll leave you a message. Don't answer the phone at all. I don't.
To add to that, now in this crazy world of AI, all they need to do is get a few words
from your mouth,
from
right?
your mouth, and then that can be utilized as to
Yeah, and I know people can't hear you, but the thing is, they use those words.
That's right.
And like I say, you can't, because he's not by microphone, so you can't hear what he's saying. But if you say hello and he says, is your name Jenny? And I say yes, well, that's all they need, because then they're going to use that. Don't answer your phone unless you're absolutely sure you know who it is. Whoever it is will leave a message to call, and then you could call them back.
Good point.
I made the mistake of saying wrong number.
My husband always answered them in Italian with a few words, and then they never called back.
Hi, Joanna, can I just have you clarify the gatekeeper concept? Because I know I do that for my mother. I'm two-factor authentication on all of her accounts. Can you just clarify that?
Sure. So a lot of us, we're wearing all kinds of hats. We're grandma, we're mom, we're sister, we're auntie, we're caretakers, and sometimes we kind of are in charge of so much information that we're not sure what's coming at us. It's really important to have someone in your life that you consider your gatekeeper. Okay, so if it's your son, your daughter, your grandson, or someone that's tech savvy, for a lot of us, it's my kids, right? Because I'm terrible with tech. But what happens is you'll get an email that says, you need to pick up this package, or you'll get an email, or you'll get a text, or you'll get some sort of notification about something. You won $10,000. You need to come. So you need to take those things, because you cannot answer the phone and you cannot do, but at some point something will hit you. And just look at it. don't respond and hand it to the person that's your gatekeeper, the person that you trust to have your best interest, right? So whether it's your family, your spouse, even if it's a group of people that you like, have a book club with, or you're playing mahjong or whatever it is you're doing, playing bingo, and you can tell everybody, guys, look at this. I won $10,000. Chances are everyone's going to look at you and say, no, you didn't. Okay? So, and that may be all you need to really kind of give you that second look at it. Oh, yeah, you're right. This doesn't look legit. You're right. That's what we all need to do. We need to kind of help each other. We need to make sure that we're there. And if someone needs help with that, reach out. I'm going to double down on what Gary said about embarrassing. I just told you, 3 o'clock in the morning at 45 years old, I'm a CPA. I worked for Ernst & Young. I should know, right? I'm right. I just gave somebody my driver's license number. I mean, come on. Like, that is the height of stupidity, right? I mean, talk about the Three Stooges. I was like, and so I got in front of it right away, but it can happen to anyone. It happens to police chiefs. It happens to FBI agents. It happens to our military. So I have a nephew who's in the military, and it happened to him. So you guys have to really just, if it happens to you and you need help, make sure.
Don't answer the phone.
Make sure that you have people around you that you trust that you can just ask. Okay?
Does the bank, if the bank does do something like that, do they have any, what happens if the bank gives out your information or something that you have? I would think that there would be laws and rules that they have to follow also. Would they be responsible financially if they gave $10,000 of your money away?
If something happened that was on the bank side of things, yeah. And I'll give you a common, people think, well, I didn't do anything wrong here. No, you didn't. We give our checks out to people every single day of the week, and I still use a checkbook and budget that checkbook. But if I give that checkbook to somebody, they got my routing number, they got my checking account number, my address, my name, my signature. So they can wash all that information out and create a whole new check, right? There's different types of it. There's forgeries, there's whatever, counterfeit. If that happens, you did nothing wrong. Now, the problem is you'll be out money until the bank recollects it. And a lot of times they'll be like, oops, it wasn't your doing. We're going to give you the money for the time being and put a full case into effect. So it won't be something but as far as sharing of your information, that's not even allowed anymore. There are regulations nowadays where the only time it's allowed is if you're applying for a loan or a mortgage and you say, I need the information to go from one to the other, then that's okay.
You have to specifically authorize it.
Correct. And I will say it's just important because that Social Security number is our bread and butter. To Joanna's point, my father, he had already passed away 2 years ago. We got a letter in the mail saying we owed $245 for unemployment taxes that weren't paid the year before. My parents were teachers. Why would they have unemployment? Somebody filed taxes for them. We're receiving unemployment benefits. So instead of just paying a little $235 bill, you wouldn't have known somebody got 30 or 40 grand using our information as unemployment. So, it's a crazy world. And all I can say is consult a professional, come into the bank, ask. And I know it's the first step is just not wanting to feel insecure about it. But like I said, it's out there, and we just need to know. This is a great little folder to just keep in the cubby somewhere and say, this is what I'm going to refer to. Remind ourselves, this person called me. This is what happened. Wake up in the middle of the night. I know sometimes I lose sleep over this stuff. Did I just do the stupid thing? Let me go to the folder, and I use it. And I work at a bank, so. That's
Gary, would you mind if we posted your information on our town clerk website so people can just take it off if they want to?
Absolutely. I'm the community wellness leader for the Hudson Valley as well, so I don't just work at the Pearl River office. I can be reached by phone, so by all means, reach out if you have any questions, okay?
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Diane, do you have anything else?
No, I'm all good. I just want to thank Gary and Joanna for coming out today. I also want to mention that they both sit on the Support Connection board with me.
Yes.
Gary served as president of the board for 7 years, but they do. They're both very community oriented.
Good. Thank you very much, Diane. Thank you. I want to say too that Diana Quast is very easy to talk to. You can go there anytime. You can ask her any questions, and she'll always respond in a very good way. So thank you, Diana.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now we have Jim Moderano.
Hey.
Junior. I always forget to put Junior in there.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you.
Rosemarie gave me the assignment of looking into different ride options for seniors all around Westchester, and so I'm going to give you what I found out, and it's very tricky. You go online, and even someone that maybe tech savvy is having trouble finding who to actually call. So if you're at home, get your pen and pad out, because I'm going to put off a few different numbers of different driving opportunities for you.
By the way,
today.
before you go any further,
Yeah.
you and I have to have a chat. Because as I told you, I had some ideas about that.
Great.
So we're just going to talk about it ourselves before you.
Love
Okay,
to
I'm
hear
ready.
it.
Okay?
Great.
I'm ready.
So first and foremost, of course, here locally, your town has the nutrition center, and Noreen O'Driscoll does an amazing job.
Yes.
And she will come pick you up at your house, bring you over to the community center, and you'll have a nice warm meal. You'll play some bingo, have a good day, and then they'll drive you back to your house. If you're enrolled in her program, she could also occasionally, on a case-by-case basis, drive you to some medical appointments. To sign up for her nutrition program, it's 914-962-7447. Once again, 914-962-7447. And they also deliver food to your house as well. So if you don't want to come into the community center, they will drive to your house and deliver food. So they're just an amazing local service, and it's definitely somebody you want to be in contact with and be signed up for her programs, because there are other things she could help you with on a case-by-case basis, as I mentioned. The next resource that I'm going to be giving y'all is the TRA, the Transportation Resource Access. They're based out of Mount Kisco. Their number is 914-764-3533, or they can be reached by email at info@my-tra.org, and they specifically drive seniors to medical appointments, doctor's
I'm sorry,
appointments.
could you repeat that?
Yeah,
Repeat the name.
that's the TRA, the Transportation Resource Access. It's 914-764-3533. And they specifically, based out of Mount Kisco, and they specifically will drive you to your doctor's appointments. I've heard very good reviews from them, and they are also accepting volunteers. So you live in the area, maybe you're a new senior, a younger senior, and you want to help give back, call that same number and offer to volunteer. Like I said, they're based in northern Westchester, so they're looking for volunteers, and without volunteers, they can't do what they do.
Okay, Jim,
Yeah.
excuse me, is that for fee or donation?
That is free of charge as a non-for-profit. And the next organization is also non-for-profit that does a similar service, but they actually will drive you to anything. And they're called Westchester Ride Connect. They can be reached at 914-242-7433. And they can also be emailed at rideconnect@fsw.org. And they will take you to doctor's appointment, grocery shopping, social activities, and much more. They also have, if you wanted to volunteer, to Ride Connect as well. Karen Janis is the person you'd want to talk to, and she's at 914-864-0955. Maybe you have a college kid on your couch that you want to get community service for. Have that man or woman reach out to Karen and volunteer for the summer or the spring, and give back to the community, because without giving back, those two organizations really can't do what they want to do.
Are they also free? This one is also free?
Yes, correct. Those are two free services. And then another fun fact, we had a speaker come in from the county, Westchester County Paratransit, another free option, but you have to have some level of disability. There's 3 levels of disability for the paratransit access, and they will drive you to your medical appointments as well. There is the conditional, where your disability only allows you to take trips occasionally. So maybe you take the bus, maybe within the town, but you can't go on long trips because of your disability. You can get conditional. You can get the unconditional, where your disability doesn't allow you to take any public access. So that card will give you access at any time to get a ride through paratransit. And then there's a temporary. So you can fill out the form, and let's say you had surgery or you had an injury, so that you can get temporary access to the paratransit. To see what you qualify for with paratransit, you can call 914 995-7272. And they also have an email as well to see if you qualify for the paratransit free pickups. That's parahelp, PARAHELP, at westchestercountyny.gov. So that's the paratransit. The temporary only lasts for 12 months, so there is a max on the temporary, and that's 12 months. More research. I'm sorry. I'll try and be quick. A fun fact. Does anyone remember the Beeline bus service when they switched from the Metro card to the coins?
Yes.
So guess what? They're changing it again. And they're switching to Omni New York custom card. So basically you're going to have a credit card now as opposed to that little floppy little Metro card that you used to have. And that card can be loaded up. It could be a credit card as well. And the cool thing about this, whether it be the Metro card or the new Omni card, is if you're 65 years old, guess what?
They're free.
You shouldn't be paying. It's not free. It's 50% off. 50% off.
Shucks.
50% off. But you do need to sign up for that 50% off in person. But luckily, there is the Metro card van that I've researched, and they go to Peekskill on Tuesdays, one Tuesday a month, and also Terrytown. So to do that, you have to go to the Peekskill Library. That's a field library from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. On either January 14th, February 11th, or March 18th. You'll have to bring your license with you, and they'll set you up with that 50% off Omni card and or Metro card. The address of the library in Peekskill is 4 Nelson Avenue, at Peekskill, New York, 10566. And if you have more questions regarding the Omni card, you can call 877-789-6669, or you can call the Beeline hotline, and that's 914-813-7777. And then also the address in Terrytown, you can access the van at Terrytown on those dates, January 14th, February 11th, or March 18th. And the Terrytown address is 140 Wildy Street, Terrytown, New York. And that's actually a McDonald's parking lot, believe it or not. And that's 1:30 to 3 p.m. On those dates I mentioned.
Could you possibly put some of that information on the newsletter that you send out to the seniors?
Yeah.
Because I can't write that fast.
For sure.
I got some of it down.
Well,
But if you could put it on there.
This is going to air
Yeah.
multiple times, so
Right.
make sure you
But everybody gets
you
that.
watch and tune in.
So
And then the last option. All right, so not everyone. A lot of people have these, right? And who's heard of Uber here? Anyone ever hear of Uber? No? Yes? Some people have heard of Uber. Uber is a great resource to get anywhere. There is a cost to it. But what about the senior that doesn't have a smartphone but wants access to Uber and wants a nice, reliable taxi service? Well, there's a new company out. They are vetted. They're a great company. They're called GoGo Grandparent. So they can be reached at 1-8...
Wait a minute. Too slow.
All right. 1-855-955-2318, extension 571. Once again, 1-855-955-2318, extension 571. It's actually eligible for anyone over the age of 18, and they use that Uber technology to have someone pick you up. When you call them the first time, they'll set your account up, and they will ask for a credit card number, which they will bill, but they will tell you before you book that travel. You have to call them 30 minutes before you travel, and usually the driver gets there within 15 minutes, and you can book travel ahead of time.
That's GoGo Grandparent.
GoGo Grandparent is the name of the company. Now, and the rates do change depending on how busy the roads are, just like Uber does. It's a cool service. I want to be the customer when I'm giving you this advice, so I called them and I asked for a ride from Route 132, Copper Beach Middle School, to downtown Yorktown. It was $22, so it isn't cheap. But if you do need to, and Uber would be a similar cost if you did it on the phone. I don't think that includes tip.
No.
It was $22. So I'm not recommending this to save money, but if you do need a resource to get somewhere, you're in a pinch and you need a ride, Grandparent is another
How
option.
about airports? If you have to travel, sometimes we can't get a ride.
Yes, Go-Go
They'll
Grandparent
do
would
that?
be, they would
They would
absolutely
do
that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, but I would check on the price before you commit to that.
Right, of course.
And if we could do a little bit more research, there are other alternatives out there when it comes to specifically airport travel.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so that's all the different options I had for you as far as travel. So feel free to call me if you have any questions. 914-245-4650. That's the number to Yorktown Parks and Recreation. Ask for Jim, because my staff will have no idea what you're talking about if you're talking about senior travel. But I will, so feel free to reach out to me at any time, and I'll kind of give you more information on some of the
Wonderful,
research I
Jim.
did here.
Thank you, thank you. You're
Thank
always-
you.
you're always very available. Thank you.
Very good.
Okay, I think we're going to cut it short today because the weather looks like it's getting bad. I would like to thank, of course, our lunch sponsor, New York Presbyterian Hudson Valley Hospital. Even though they couldn't come today, they certainly offered to send lunch. Thank you to Thomas. Thomas, where are you? Our videographer. He does a wonderful job. Tommy does a wonderful job. And of course, all of our board members here, thank you so much. We wish you all a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and we
Happy
look
New Year.
forward. Beg your pardon?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much. Thank you.